How is it going, fellow YouTubers? My name is Sly, and welcome to another build video for ESO. We are actually going to go over what I call my very fun Dragonknight tank / also a little bit DPS. For her, of course, we went with the Dark Elf. I like it for the fact that it has fire resistance as well as it can dish fire damage back at the enemies, which seem to not like fire. For the setup I have here, I have a one-handed shield of LeMay due to the fact that it gives me that extra spell resistance against enemies. It does help for my one-handed shield, and I do have that out if I can't block it as easily. I also use a destruction staff backup, which is my lightning staff also of LeMay, just in case if I want to wear the extra two pieces I have for my shoulder and helmet. It's a lightning staff with the flame damage glyph, just so I can actually attack everything in game a lot easier, and it still procs a lot of different stuff on that as well. For my armor set, as you see, I have what they call the glowing red orbs, which would actually be the Ebon set. It is actually farmable from the dungeon called Crypt of Hearts, both 1 and 2. A little easier to do it on normal if you're just wanting to get the set. I have a mix of reinforced and infused right now. I am shooting for infused for the fact that it gives me extra glyph effect kind of thing, I guess you could say, enchantment effect. There we go. For my monster set I am using right now, I am actually using the Mighty Toons set. Both light pieces, also infused. It helps with the spell resistance and physical resistance, but when I have both pieces, it gives me that major ward and resolve at all times. So in my opinion, it's actually better than the blood spawn because it's not going to have to be procced. For my necklace and rings, I have the endurance set that also gives me extra health as well as stamina recovery, so when I am blocking against those enemies that want to try and hurt me, I have magicka recovery as well as weapon damage for my enchantments. So when I am using my weapons, I can do a lot more damage to help with that as well. So I'm not just sitting there taking the hits, I can also dish a little bit back as well. For my loadouts, we are going to go over the destruction staff first. I have Eruption, which is my fire AoE for Dragonknights that summons an ash cloud underneath, giving them extra flame damage to enemies initially, and then also 518 flame damage every second that they are also there. Also reduce their movement speed so my friends can, or group members can actually kill them a lot easier. I use igneous weapons for the fact that it does give me major sorcery and brutality, so it helps my spell and weapon damage for 20% for myself and group, and that lasts almost 40 seconds there. That helps me to help burn as well as helps them to burn. I use burning talons to help pin any enemies I can actually stand in place so that it's easier for AoE damage to kill them a lot faster. And it's also a synergy move that also gives extra damage to the enemies that are pinned. I have what I would call, I guess, a little bit of a self-heal for myself. It's the green dragon blood. So it gives me an extra 34% of my missing health back there. Also gives me fortitude, endurance, and minor vitality. So it gives me a little bit of extra recovery there and healing received. And then I also use the Blockade of Storms. Now what this is actually the elemental blockade, but because it's a lightning staff, that is why it's called Storms. That gives me my extra lightning AoE, so if I am using a different monster set such as the Elombrus, I can proc both my lightning and my fire procs from that set due to my 2 AoEs and my weapon of destruction staff. And then for my ultimate, I am actually working on the elemental storm, which is also thunderstorm right now because also again with the lightning staff. So that is helping to cause extra damage every second kind of thing as well, especially if the enemy stays in it long enough and does not move. So let's go over the one-handed shield. Now I do have the inner fire as my aggro, I guess you could say, rather than ransack for now. I am working that up. But either one of those is good to have, at least one or the other on your line, so that you can actually aggro the enemies to you and keep them off your friends. This is more of going to be the tank roll line, as you could say, because with the one-handed shield you can block a lot more and take more of a hit. You have hardened armor that gives you an extra overshield as well, which is going to be equal to a percentage of your health. That helps to give like that instant, oh fudge, here's my overshield moment. Immovable is another move I am working on right now. Rather than being magicka cost, it's going to actually only cost stamina. That gives me the major resolve and ward, helping with the physical and spell resistance as well. So in case if I'm not using the chewed on set, I would use this, and then if I am using the chewed on set, I would actually use, which is the igneous shield. It actually gives me an extra overshield as well that absorbs 94 damage. But it's not just for myself, it is also for my group as well, to help cover them so they don't die so easily to the enemies. And then for my other move I have as well, this is when I'm in a large group of ads. I use what is called deep breath. What that does, it actually gives me health back as I use it, but it also damages them. And then it also actually will interrupt if they are charging up for an attack of sorts, as long as it is not a boss. And then it'll exhale and give an extra good damage around them. So this is a good one to help clear out a big group of ads if you're right in the middle. And then for my ultimate on the one-handed shield, I use corrosive armor, which actually helps me to protect myself from damage for quite a bit. So in case if somebody does fall and I have to actually pick somebody up, I will use this and be able to pick them up a lot easier, unless a boss does knock and stun you. That unfortunately cannot be blocked, but normal any other damage will be able to be resisted a lot easier. So in case if you do have to pick up as a tank, you are able to do it a lot easier. And then also for my character trait points, I have 28 in my magicka, 9 in my health, 27 in my stamina. I tend to use both a lot anyway, so that's why I'm a little bit more balanced, but I still have a bit more than my damage characters in my health, just because I am a tank, so I do have to take more of a hit. With my food being active right now, my stats are, as you can see here, the max magicka health and stamina. I do have over 30,000 health, which is good to have a bit of health for your tank, but not too much to where you are practically useless and can't tank or a hit, or you cannot help to actually dish out any damage for the fact that all your points are in health. You want to keep it more balanced. But also, with the sets here, like I was mentioning before, I do use chewed on, but when I am in a tank or if I'm a tank in a group and I have an easier time and don't have to use chewed on, I will actually use either the Alhambra set, like I said, that helps to give that extra flame and shock damage, and then also I would actually use the Grothar. Good for a very big group of people, especially if they're around you again, because it helps to damage around you. That does extra damage around for 5 seconds there, but it's good especially if you're going against Daedric. This is one of my favorites to use if I'm in a Daedric dungeon, just to help clear out the ads a lot faster because of their fire weakness. But what I will do here shortly, I'm going to actually show you guys my setup in a veteran dungeon. Me and my friends decided to choose one, just luck of the draw, just to show how this does in action. So what we're going to do is magically transport ourselves here to that dungeon and actually show you how that works in the dungeon. Alright, well, good luck, and we'll see how this works for you guys as well if you like to use it, or if you need a reference. This is what I have for myself, and I hope you guys like the video. Peace. Walked over. Alright, going in. The only thing I have to worry about with him is his little Oko circle. I just roll out of that.
Yeah. Healer down, healer down.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Didn't get out of the circle in time, did you?
I did not.
I did. This time. He just tried to Oko me. A little stink bug. See how you like my little thing there?
Damn it. I saw it coming too. I'm like, oh shit.
There you go.
Those are the worst ones when you see it coming.
See, I think that's why I always give this thing kind of a little bit of a berth, so that I have a chance to back away when I see it coming. See, like, I know that he's about to start doing this, so I'm backing up already.
I'm giving myself enough room that if I have to back up, I can, but that way you guys aren't stuck in there.
No, I don't think he'll let you call your friends today.
No, especially when I pin them.
There we go.
Ta-da.